Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the webinar Green Screen Applications in Mobile Era. It's part of webinar series program organized by RoyalCyber for increasing awareness and sharing benefits of host access transformation service. This webinar focuses on how HATS made it easier to use green screen applications on mobile devices like smartphones, PDAs, tablets, PCs, and barcode readers. I am Asif Hussain. Let's start with the agenda. We will start with the brief introduction about us, that is RoyalCyber. Then we will discuss the importance of mobile devices in today's world. In the next session, in the next section of this presentation, we will discuss if the so-called legacy servers like IBM I, NZ, or any Power Series machine are still worth anything. We will move on with the discussion on the IBM Rational HATS tools. And in another section, we will describe the standard mobile devices implementation with HATS and will also present demonstration of our work. We will also discuss the mobile devices implementation with the focus on responsive web design and demonstrate a demo of our work with responsive HATS application. We will include the benefits of mobile implementation by HATS as well, like in the business benefits or the performance benefits one can get, how it is beneficial from technical and business perspective both. Let us start with the brief introduction about us. RoyalCyber is a modernized e-business solution provider. We are IBM Premier Business Partner, IBM Authorized Trainer, and Microsoft Certified Gold Partner. Since the company's inception in 2002, our experts have been leaders in providing training and consultancy of IBM Rational, WebSphere, Tivoli, Lotus, Cognos, Microsoft Family Solutions to businesses worldwide, including many Fortune 500 companies. These are a few of our objectives. Like we are cutting edge IT services provider. We help organizations in public and private sector to automate and improve their services. We are an organization with skill set in different areas, and we use it to improve our clients' services. We have on-site and off-site development model. We have resource deployment on-site, and we help organizations improve their return on investment. Headquartered in Chicago, Illinois, we have a global footprint with offices and development centers across North America, Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, as you can see in this slide. Here is our brand portfolio. As you can see, we have covered all the possible bases with our solutions, from enterprise modernization to database servers. Tools like RTC, RRC, RFT, RPT, RQM provides state-of-the-art ability to improve software development process lifecycle And we have portal solutions. We provide WebSphere portal consultancy. We provide SharePoint consultancy. We also provide LifeRay consultancy. We have experts on pretty much almost all the renowned database servers, including these. We are working on middleware solutions. We are working on Microsoft solutions, including these. And we have renowned practice in WebSphere commerce solutions. Now let's discuss how important mobile technology and different areas of it are in today's era. When we talk about mobile devices, it is not restricted to mobile or cellular phone only. It covers not only mobile or cell phones, but also smartphones, tablets, barcode readers, PDAs, and other such devices. You can see the progress of mobile devices in this chart. Initially, PCs were ruling the planet. However, with the passage of time, mobile devices started taking over, and today, mobile devices have outnumbered the counterpart PCs and laptops by almost half the margin. That is 800 million mobile devices to 400 million PCs and laptops. Here are some other eye-opening statistics. 25% of users in America chose not to browse internet in traditional manner, that is with laptops and desktops. People are so reliant on smartphones that on average they check their phones more than 150 times each day. American statistics may vary from rest of the world, but considering that even in some of the underdeveloped countries, 70% of population has access to mobile phones. The statistics discussed earlier could be generalized to global level as well. The graph here is evident that considering the current growth patterns, by 2015, mobile users will overtake the desktop laptop industry users, and please note that last graph was about number of devices. This one shows the number of users. The way things are going, this transformation is expected to be faster, not slower than the pattern shown in the graph. There may be variations here and there, but roughly speaking, the current ecosystem of the communication compromises of entities under these three hats: legacy systems and their modernized versions, platforms from desktops, laptops, to mobile gadgets, PDAs, tablets, etc. Finally, the social media integration like Facebook, Twitter, etc. It is important for companies or professionals to keep all ecosystem in mind to come up with solutions bigger in horizon and covering maximum audience to get the true ROI. There are many benefits of going mobile for the organizations. Mobile devices give the accessibility on the go. It is easy to develop and maintain, and the training costs are not very high, giving on-the-fly access it makes customers happy, and happy customers certainly make the organization happy and give them the competitive edge. Cost saving and customer satisfaction gives the organization best return against the investment, no doubt. There are many misconceptions about green screen platforms. Generally, people think the technology is on its way out, but as we will discuss later, it is far from being true. Let us get the current picture. There are still hundreds of thousands of systems running actively across more than 115 countries. The domain variations are also plenty, meaning there is no restriction of the platforms to be used for particular domains. It is latest for all practical purposes like domains. There is no restriction on technology usage. The platforms are constantly being upgraded by IBM, and it is cheaper to acquire and maintain, as the statistics of initial and maintenance costs are showing here. You can see that 24%, less than 24% x86 servers with Windows. If you compare the cost of an I-Series platform with a normal x86 server that is based with Windows Server, SQL Server DB, the cost of I-Series system is 24% lower. While when we compare similar hardware with Linux Server and Oracle DB, the cost of our I-Series system is 47% lower. And same goes with the maintenance costs, like here in these figures show maintenance costs for 3 years. Let's discuss the few misconceptions people have about these platforms. First and foremost is that people are running away from these platforms. This is far from true, as the results from Infotech research group is shown here. Like according to this survey, 4% of the customers are planning to migrate away from I-Series machines these days. And 64% are planning to upgrade their I-Series machines. 28% are satisfied with current versions and are not either trying to upgrade their systems or moving away from the system. And only 3% are planning to go for managed services and hosting providers. So pretty much more than half the people, half the customers, more than 60% the customers are very satisfied with their current versions of OS on or current versions of their I-Series machines. Another misconception is that the technology is not being upgraded and is not technically competitive enough today. This is not true as well, as since 2001, IBM is upgrading the platform every 3 years on average, excluding the minor updates here and there. The high-end platforms are comparable with state-of-the-art platforms we have today and suitable for applications of small to large scale. Another common misconception is that IBM I and Z or any other power system machine only supports green screen applications, which is also not true, as the platforms are capable of providing support to many OS and languages and many type of software. IBM platforms are highly performance, are of high performance and reliable. IBM I provides exceptional reliability and has a lower cost, and being economical, have a lot of room for investment by companies. They are not going anywhere and are here to stay. Now let's see what is HATS, IBM Rational HATS, or Host Access Transformation Service. Rational HATS is a premier IBM product that is inarguably the best tool for presenting old green screen applications in modernized manner rapidly and efficiently. HATS modernized version can be prepared for various output mediums. There is no need to make any changes in the existing application. So the matured environment stays at the back end, ensuring business continuation and stability. There is no need to migrate data from data implementing HATS. So as the data is with the backend server and that is there as it was earlier. And HATS will only make a layer on top which will improve the UI. It is hard to train people on old obsolete technologies. So moving to HATS permits new resources to come on board quickly, and it is easy to find resources for modern technologies. Data from legacy servers like System I and System Z can be used at various places as demonstrated in the slide. Data once processed by HATS can be deployed for web applications, rich clients, portals, and mobile devices. Web services can also be created to allow communication between multiple systems. There are many things that HATS can do, like modernizing green screen per the recent UI standards, using macros, customizations, and other technologies to show green screens data in organized manner. Advanced controls and widgets can be used. HATS can also be used for creating mobile versions for specific devices for your on-the-business needs. This is the overall architecture of the HATS implementation, where the IBM I server is used for the green screen applications. The HATS application is deployed on a WebSphere application server, and then it can be used on various platform browsers, devices, via HTTP protocol, web services, or etc. Now, we will discuss the strategies one needs to take for mobile devices development with the IBM Rational HATS. First, the major obstacle that needs to be tackled, we do not want to rewrite the whole application and do not want to spend too much effort on maintenance. We want to avoid learning new languages altogether just for mobile development, and want to spend minimum on resource training, which will definitely be high if we rewrite the code and retrain the resources. Changes in devices is also a big obstacle that needs to be tackled. But still, we want to have this, don't we? This is the kind of application we want to have. Like, we want a modern application. We want to have it available on our all modern devices. Yet we want it to be useful in the business sense as it is in the green screen environment. HATS solutions efficiently provide support for many platforms, devices, browsers, and gadgets. You can see in the slide that various operating systems, browsers, gadgets can be supported with HATS tools. We have displayed the major OS browsers and gadgets here. The actual set of each is way larger than the ones shown here. So here's the recap. We want these targets to be achieved. We want the project to be successful. We want it to be done with minimum cost and maximum output. But we want to achieve this without rewriting the code. We don't want the whole the business logic to be rewritten again. Now, to achieve the mentioned targets, we need to adopt a certain strategy. We need to plan first, then decide a connectivity option and devices from where this will be connected, and then develop according to the plan. In the planning phase, we need to decide which green screens to be modernized, like what are the most important green screens we want modernized. We like how to do more in less steps by thinking in terms of customizations or bridging in macros into the picture. Mobile UI dynamics are different from normal development, like we have to provide touch screen support, think about orientations, I mean screen orientations, make the design more interactive and light, considering the bandwidth issue on mobile devices. In connectivity options, we need to decide which medium of connectivity are needed. Like, does the application need to interact with, say, email server, Google Maps, or anything similar? Similarly, the end devices will be used to merely showing or accessing the application, or they will be used to do something important, like they will get inputs from barcodes, or they will connect from the client side to some servers for some activity. They will perform some activity on the client side, or they will send information to the server side and perform the activity on the servers. Now, in the development phase, consider each device and preferably use it as well to understand how it works, so that HTML, layout, etc. could be implemented. Architecture of the application is very important and needs to be implemented considering the options provided by HATS. Shortening of steps can really add value to the applications, especially on mobile devices. Once the analysis and architecture is done, the last thing is to develop according to the plan, and then the normal steps of testing, building, and deployment. Now we'll have a small demonstration of a project we did on HATS. It was a project we did for a certain client, and it was done for a specific device. Client wanted to have the HATS modernization done for a specific device, that is iPad. So we have here a demo with this. Here you can see this on an emulator. This is how the interface looks on an iPad device. Uh, the client's website is that I was about to show was down for a while. Now it's getting up. So just stay with us for a while, and we'll have it. So here you can see I have logged into their system, and it's an HATS application built on IBM I. We can see we have made these buttons here like there is this enter button, like the application expects enter key for certain tasks, but we don't have an enter key on an iPad. So we have made this JavaScript input field here, input button here, that is an enter key, and when a user taps on it, the HATS engine sends an enter to the IBM I. So let me choose some option here. We have these lookups here. You can see user can choose values from here. This application is made with the default rendering approach of HATS. In the default rendering approach, we do not customize each and every screen. Instead, we only create global rules, and based on the rules, the HATS engine modernizes the application on the fly. Like it renders the green screen, parses the text on it, and applies the rules we have provided in HATS to transform it into a web page and display it on the browser it is being accessed on. So this is a pretty big application. It has now around 4,000 screens, but by only developing few, maybe a dozen or 2 dozen global rules, this application is modernized. So let's get back to our presentation. So now we look what responsive web design application and how we can develop it with using HATS. It is necessary to write separate dedicated mobile apps to make the green screens viewable on different mobile devices. Keep in mind, separate applications will have to be written for each store and device if we do not go for a responsive application. Like the demo we just showed you was made for an iPad, and this system was definitely available or viewable from all the other devices, including laptops, desktops, and mobile devices, but the application was best fit on a certain device. If I'll try to open it from a smaller phone, the screen will not fit in. Like I'll have certain controls on it, I'll miss certain controls out of the screen, and I will have to scroll for them. With ever-increasing variable factors, it is financially and technically, is it financially or technically feasible to create separate versions for each factor? There is a huge variety of screen sizes across the globe. Like the devices and are not necessarily standard. Like we have, even in the Apple series, we have maybe around 6-7 sizes available. So if we go for Android devices, to cater in Android devices, they are like maybe uncountable. And the screen sizes are not the only thing we have to think of. Difference in this will like double the possible combinations for screens. If you are expecting the application to be accessible by people on multiple devices, unlike using the same genre of devices to access the application, the answer in such scenario is to be responsive. Like if there is a company where all the users are given a certain type of device, or a certain barcode scanner, or a certain iPad, or some certain tablet, and all the users are using that device to access the application, then in that case, going for responsive design is not feasible, I think. That will cost a lot more than normal standard website, but standard system, I should say, instead of website. But if our users are global, they can come from any device. They are open to use any device, any kind of browser, any kind of operating system, then we'll have to be responsive. You can see of how in nature species use different techniques in order to increase their chances of survival. Chameleon, spiders, many sea creatures use camouflage to attain food and protect themselves from the predators. This is their ability to be responsive to the environment. By being responsive, they are successful. So the answer lies in responsive web design. Adopting this golden strategy, we make application adaptable according to the medium it is being viewed on, rather than anticipating the device OS platform to support it. Remember the golden words: responsive web design. So the solution remains the same, that is implementation via rational hats. However, by making few changes in the design, the code is written to make application responsive to the viewing medium. For end users, it is all the seamless, but they don't know, neither they need to know the difference in approach. Simple techniques like anticipating different screen sizes and adjusting the content accordingly making images scalable per the viewable screen, adjustment to cater portrait or landscape views can prevent from making multiple code bases and need to store and manage content at multiple places. As mentioned earlier, the responsive web design caters to the variation in landscape and portrait mode across devices, so it displays the content accordingly. IBM hats implemented through responsive web designing approach. Now the journey of green screen application to the latest devices does not involve multiple layers in between. Write once, use it anywhere. Let us give you a demonstration of our responsive works using hats. here you can see this is kind of an emulator where I can test web system or in hats, any system that is viewable by a browser to see how it will be presented on different devices or different screen sizes. So this is our demo application. This is a hats application. You can see the login page of this application, how it will look like on different devices. I'm reducing the canvas size here so that you can see more screens at once. Okay, so this is how it will look like on a smaller phone. This is on an iPhone. This is on a small tablet. This is on iPad being portrait. This is a landscape iPad. So this is how it will look like on different devices. Now let me log in. So you can see how this is looking here in this device, but the look is a bit different in other devices. So let me continue here. These are some menus generated by using macros. These are not actually menus given on the iSeries application. So when I click on a certain menu option, it actually plays a macro, provides some inputs to the green screen, and filters out some records from the input I have given. Like when I select powered boards, it will execute a macro and provide the input for power boards to a filter form filter, and a list will appear based on the input I have given. So I have clicked on it. Here you can see how it is being viewed on different screens. This mobile device is really small and the design is not really very well built to manage this sort of a screen. But you can see it is somehow a bit changed on all these screen sizes. We have this image of a boat over here while it is not present on any smaller versions. Now I'm choosing one of the boat and displays the details of this boat and how it displays it on different versions. You can see the menu is different on different sort of screens. Here it is like this, while here it is different for a smaller screen. So now let's get back to our presentation again. So here you can see a very important screen. This will help you understand how to decide whether to go for a standard HATS application or to go for a responsively designed HATS application. There are also some pros and cons for different aspects of it, like okay, here you can see for a standard HATS application, the upfront cost is low. For a responsive HATS application, it is higher. Maintenance of a standard HATS application is higher, while a responsive HATS application is lower, because you don't have to maintain different versions of an application. It's a single application, and since single code base where you can manage it easily down the road. If you're planning to go for a standard website to keep the upfront cost low and planning to go for an upgrade to responsive HATS application down the road, that's not a good idea. Like going for a responsive HATS application down the road is not that easy. Like it's not feasible to, it's not very easy to, or it's not really helpful. The standard application is really not helpful for designing a responsive HATS application. So it will be a from the scratch thing again. If cross-device identical design, if you want to have an identical design on different browsers, different devices, like your marketing team or your theme designers have a goal to provide a single interface on all the devices, making it easier to use for the end user. Like you don't want the end user to search for a single button or an option if he is using from another type of device. You want to have a single application interface on all the devices. Don't go for responsive web design. Responsive web design is all about change interface on different devices that will present better on each device. But if you want to have a single interface on each device, go for a standard application. Yeah, user base on a specific device. Like I have already discussed, like if your users are using a certain type of device, the organization has provided a certain type of device, and users are broadly using the same sort of device, you don't need to go for a responsive web design website, because you have a single device and you can make an application that best fits for that device. So go for a standard device in that case. Keep your budgets down. If you want to have a HATS application rapidly developed, you have a larger I-series application that has lots of screens, and you want to have it modernized in fairly less time, go for a standard HATS application, because responsive HATS applications are custom-built applications and they require a lot of time. If you want your HATS application to best fit on all the devices, if you want that user comes from whatever device he can, and he has to have the best possible interface of your system, then go for a responsive web design. Standard web device, standard HATS applications are not fit for it. So now we have given you explanation and demonstration of both the normal approach and responsive web design approach. Let us compare the pros and cons of, like we have discussed the pros and cons of these various factors. There's no ultimate verdict on which is better, as it all depends on the situation you are in. So don't overspend. Choose your option wisely by analyzing the situation correctly. Now let's see a few benefits of going mobile with HATS. Just like the code, there is no need to duplicate the content at various places. So all the content at one place is sufficient for global access. Generally, devices, generally device users have to make okay. So we have low-cost development. One of the benefit here for this type of development, we can save money by not modernizing, by not changing the complete system and going with hats. If we try to develop an entirely new application with some modern technology, we'll have to invest more, we'll have to test it more, we'll have to redesign the business logic, so it's very costly altogether. So going with hats will keep the project low cost in maintenance. It will be easier to develop. It will require lesser time to develop it. So rapid development can be easily possible. We can reduce the training cost because many of the old resources are capable of using the old I-series application, old green screen application, and the newer web application is not that much changed. Like they will not get difficulty in using that application. But since it is now a web application, new resources can get trained easily, and they can start using it within maybe days or weeks. So device selection is an important thing. If there is a specific device, like I have discussed, the users are more or less on a similar device, we can have a simple version, a low-cost version without responsive design, and that will serve the purpose. With hats, there's no need to compromise on security and performance. Your green screen application, I know you guys are very comfortable with its security features. You guys know it's dependable, so it will be there, and we will only put a layer on top of it and make the accessibility easier. And with hats, we'll make its user interface standard. That is the need of the day. So summarizing all the benefits, we can safely say that the benefits could be translated to the bottom line of achieving maximum return on investment. If anyone has any questions, he or she can type in the chat window provided by GoToMeeting, or ask me to open the mic so he or she can verbally ask the question. You guys can send in your queries later in email format. You can email me, you can email our marketing or sales department. You can find their email addresses on our website, and you can ask about this solution, this hats, this responsive hats, anything about hats or any other IBM solution on that email address. Please feel free to contact us for any queries. You can get 40 hours of consultancy free of cost from us, not only for mobile development, but for any kind of modernization. Stay tuned with us for more trainings and webinars. Do visit our website often so that you can know about more of our offerings. Thank you very much for your patience. Take care. Bye-bye.